Hello and welcome back to the next part of the Power BI training. And in this particular part, we will perform some advanced analytics with some sort of AI visuals as well. And also, what we'll do is we will create a animated scatter chart, or and also you will do some visualization and forecasting as well. So let's get started. First, we need to do is as you know that we have the Power BI, we have published sales analysis report to the Power BI cloud. So make sure you just verify it somewhere in my workspace. It is opening up. In this way, this shows the existing data where we loaded the data, we've done some transformation, and we've created visualization as well. And if you want to see this how it's done, then you need to go back to the playlist of Power BI training and walk through. We have the data set. I've shared a link to the data set in the comment section, so you can download the data set and work along with this. And if you have any questions or anything, just reach out to me in the comment section, and I'll be happy to help you out. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can get updated um, of all the updated versions of all the trainings, as well as the Power BI and Microsoft Fabric as well. So what we'll do now is we'll go to the workspace. So if we see here, there is sales analysis as well as the sales analysis dataset. Now what we will do is we will create a new report. I've opened up Power BI desktop, and then we'll get the data from the Power BI dataset. We will make sure to sign in. Okay, so we've signed in. So what we'll do is we'll just go to the get data and click on Power BI data set. So this will open up the published data set. As you can see, it is in my workspace, and in my workspace we'll open up the sales analysis data set. We click on this sales analysis and we'll click on connect. So this what will happen is that it establishes a live connection between the published data set and other aspect as well. So if you can see here, we cannot see the data view, we can only see model view. We cannot see uh, the uh, the code behind the measures that we have created. We will only see the published data set, and we will only see the data through the visual. So for example, if you want to see targets and variances and variance margin, we will be able to see it through the visuals. And so for example, this is sales. So this is showing as visualization related to the sales through the um, what do you call it, uh, through the visualization, and through the view that we can see the data under the visualization, and not directly. We'll just go ahead and delete this. So click on this one and then delete. So what we will, in order to get started, what we'll do is we'll create a scatter chart which can be animated as well. So in the page one, we will go to the scatter chart. Just click on this scatter chart. So this we will just resize this. So this chart gets animated as soon as the visual or any of the field is added to the play axis area. So we'll make this as a full screen visual. In the x-axis, what we will do is we will fetch up sales value. So this is sum of sales. In y-axis, we will go and add profit margin, and then we will add um, sales quantity in the size section, as well as in the play axis. What we will do is we'll add quarter. And last thing what we will do is we will add business type to the legend section. So we've got x-axis as sales, y-axis as profit margin, the legend is business type, the size is a sum of quantity, and the axis is the quarter. In the filter pane, we will drag a product category, and we'll drag it to the filter on this page. We will select bikes, and then now what we'll do is we'll just click on play. So it will play the icon for every quarter. So it's playing around, all the sales and everything is happening. So this is play axis from first quarter, first sales to uh, in this case financial year 2018 to 2020. Generally, the scatter chart allows understanding the measure values simultaneously. So in this case, order quantity, sales value, or the sales revenue and profit margin, and each bubble represent the legend of business type. So specialty bike shop, value added reseller, and warehouse. So this animation stops to the quarter four, and if you hover this, for example, here it shows uh, the sum of sale is this, profit margin is amount, and sum of quantity is this. So if you click on this one, it shows the pathway from first existence to another one. So this means that it is showing where the sales have gone, where the profit margin is gone. So if you hover it, for example, here it's FY18 quarter four. This is FY18 quarter three, and the maximum sales we had was in FY 2020 quarter one. We just unclick this and click on the specialty bike shop. This is a close by location that shows a near, for example, uh, not huge profit margin, not huge sales, and just closing in the way. Okay. So if we select this clothing instead of the bikes, and then we'll have we have a play axis, then it goes through the entire things throughout the 2020. And once it stops, then what we'll do is we'll just click on this one, and it shows the pathway for each of the individual legend icon. Next, what we'll do is we'll create a forecast, and we will create a forecast to determine profit, future sales, revenue. In order to do that, we'll add another page and then rename this to forecast. Once you do that, when you will add a line chart visual here, and we'll adjust this line chart visual to the entire page. And then in x-axis, what we'll do is we'll add date field to the x-axis and the sales amount from the sales table in the y-axis. In the filter pane, what we will do is we will add, for example, date year on this page, and make sure to select FY 2019 so that it shows the entire 2019 year. We will also select FY 2020 as well. So it will show 2 years of data. So it is suggested that when you are forecasting, you should have 2 cycles of the data to produce an accurate and stable forecast. Now what we'll add is we'll add a product category as well in this page, and we will select bikes. So for example, this is bikes. So this will update as bike sales. Now, in order to add forecast till the last month is May 2020. So we need to add forecast, and we can add forecast to the line chart. Going to this add further analysis tab, and then in the forecast section, which is this, you just turn this on. So if you see this is something that is coming up by default, and what we will do is we'll just select some points, like for example this is months, units as month, forecast length is 1 month, ignore the last, will remain as it is, seasonality is 365, interval level is 80%, and then click on apply. So if you see here, this is creating a forecasting thing with the lower and upper bound. So this, if you for example, let's let's select month wise, sorry, fiscal, and add this to the so if we add, for example, if you want to see forecast 3, Q3 and Q4, if you see here, this is the updated version of the forecast with this a color change, and this is showing around about the continuation of the trend that is showing. And if you just remove this, remember this is, there is a dark line as well as uh, the the gray area, which represents the upper bound and lower bound, so plus minus the difference. So this shows the upper bound, lower bound, as well as the forecast amount, and it shows like every uh, you know monthly forecast or individually forecast related to that. So the gray area represent the confidence. The wider the confidence, the less stable and therefore the less accurate forecast will be. But when you know the length of the cycle, in this case, which is the annual cycle, you should enter the seasonality points as well. Sometimes it could be weekly, monthly, or quarterly as well. So if we now change and apply the category as clothing, it changes the forecast as well. It produces a different result. For example, if we select accessories, then you see there's a trend, increasing trend, and it covers up, but it has a lower bound and upper bound high, which means that this is a less stable data. But if you see clothing, it has it is comparatively more stable than the accessories. That's the forecast I'm talking about. So now we've created the scatter chart, play axis, as well as the forecasted amount as well. We will save this and publish this to the cloud for further analysis or for the viewing of the audience. So after this, what we will do is we'll do some more further analysis like statistics, as well as outliers, grouping of the data, clustering data, as well as the and what if parameters that we will be using. So we start off with the statistical summary. We'll create another page, and we will just rename this to stats. So Power BI has number of DAX function that you can use for quick statistics based on their data. You can access this quiz function by right clicking the value to the of the of the data, and then you can create that. So I'll create a bar chart, for example, and then we'll add a product name as well as the quantity in the sales section. So if you see, this product is showing, and we'll add a filter of the air as well. So we'll keep it to just FY20, or probably rather we'll just explore 1 month. So we'll say probably quarter, and quarter FY20 2020, quarter 4. So this is long products. What we can do is we can apply some top 10 filters as well. So in this product, in the filter pane, the product is applying basic filter. What we can do is we can do top n, and then we can say top 10, and then drag this field to the product and apply filter. So this is showing top 10 filter by quantity. This is showing as a product, but we can do sum of quantity as well. So you know this can be done in each of the sales visual to analyze. So we are keeping it short, so that's why we have done top 10. So yeah, so this is sum of quantity. um, it is showing sum of quantity. The statistical functions can be here. We're saying average of the quantity. We will enable the data labels to see what the average shows, as well as the sum of the quantity shows. So by default it is sum, but we can also have a count as well. So this is a count, as well as median and standard deviation and all the stuff as well. We can also explore this in the one. This is a good approach by automatically selecting it, but in order to improve the performance, we can what we can do is we can create uh, a DAX function with average to avoid any performance issues, because you know um, uh, the larger the data, the better it is to go through the what you call it through the DAX function, rather than the native statistical functions itself. Next, what we'll do is we'll create a kind of identify outliers. So in order to identify outliers is a type of anomaly that you have something in data. For example, the quantity of the sales of a particular product is way beyond the other average quantities, so which is skewing the average product, for example. So for example, if you we can analyze some outliers in Power BI by scatter plotting. And in order to identify, let's create a new page and put up a scatter chart, and then put up order quantity in one, as well as the product category. or let's do a product values. And in the legend, what we can do is we can put a product category as the legend, and let's add the product name to the values. So this is showing a product category, and if you say clothing, quantity is the highest one, which is long sleeve logo jersey, and this is considered as an outlier, you would say. And what you can do is you can apply sales as well to the size, and it will show you the the actual size of the sales plus different things in that. And imagine if you're saying that, this AWC logo cap is the highest one is showing, as well as this one is also with the highest number of quantity that is being shown. Instead of sum of quantity, if we can do count, then we'll be able to apply more closely what is being shown here. And majority of the product lies under this one, and you know uh, this range, but there are some outliers as well to identify. So in order to perform few operations, what I've done is I've switched to the local version of the data, and I've not connected to the cloud version of the data set. So this gives more features enabled in the desktop version, like what you can do is you can what you can do is you can um, perform many operations which you cannot why when there is a live connection in the data set. So for example, one of it is to create groups. So in order to create some groups, we just create a non-numerical, click on non-numeric values, and just when you click on it, there is a column tool, and there's an option called data groups. In order to create new data groups, and we are creating a product of the groups. So for example, we want to enable, uh, we just control click multiple uh, groups, and we'll see how they are groups. And if we click on other as well, so this shows that contain all ungrouped values. So we are just selecting some limited um, products to be grouped as one. And when you click on this one and then related to sales, it shows what other group has the sales. I mean, what other groups are making as a sales, and what is the uh, that particular group. So if we just go back and click display unit as none, it shows 233,678, and this is 77 million. So the difference is too much, but this shows a group that is being created for specific products or non-numeric things that we can group together. So next what we will do is we will apply some clustering techniques. Clustering allows you to identify a segment of the data that is similar to each other but dissimilar to the rest of the data. The process of clustering is different to that of the grouping and the bins that we have created. Um, Power BI has an inbuilt feature of clustering that allows you to quickly find groups of similar data, and you can analyze it and identify similarities and dissimilarities between the values. And it also separates the data that has similarities into a subset of data, and thus these subset of data is referred to as cluster. So for example, what you might want to look at the patterns of the sales data and the behavior of the other customers based on the product itself. We will create a new page. We'll add a scattered chart, and we'll just make it a bigger. We will add order quantity to the x-axis, sales to the y-axis, and the cost to the uh, value field, not the size field. And you see this is this has created something which is um, called clustered column chart. We will add one more thing. We will add product to the legend tab, and then see it is displaying a colored clusters and color values, and something is uh, outliers are there as well, and there are some individual things that is showing as well. For inbuilt capabilities of cluster, what you can do is you can, on the visual, you can click on more options. We'll just disable the legend one. You'll just click on no more option and see there's an option appears, add automatically find clusters. So now it is giving me an option of clusters. So this is showing as cost cluster, and we just click on OK to see what it does. So it's now working on the cluster. So what it has done is it has created some ranges of the clusters. So this is starting off as cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3, cluster 4, and we can categorize it based on the which cost cluster it belongs to. If you want to edit this, just you just right click and then edit cluster, and this will give us options of multiple things that we can do. So for example, if you want to add, you just need 3 clusters to be done. So it creates, 3 clusters based on the updates. So just 3 categories are there: low, medium, and high. Next, what we'll do is we'll create a what if parameters, and what if parameter is helpful for scenario based analysis, and it is powerful addition to the Power BI data models and reports, because they enable you to look at historical data to analyze potential outcome if a different scenarios had occurred. Additionally, the what if parameter can help you to look forward and predict the forecast as well. And you can use for example multiple you can use the parameters in multiple situations, such as uh, you know determine the effect of increased sales or deeper discounts, or what discount percentage and what affects you to that. So in order to create that, we'll create a new page, and there's an option in the modeling tab called new parameter. We'll just click this as um, new parameter, and then it shows um, two options like numerical range and field. We click on numerical range. So we'll give this as a parameter 1. We'll rename the data type to fixed decimal number. The minimum value is 1. The maximum value is 1.5. The increment is 0.05, and default is 1 as well. You just make sure to click this is auto checked, add slicer to the page. Just click on this one. So if you see here, it has created a parameter 1 table where there are parameter 1 and parameter 1 value. So if we, for example, bring in a card visual and then click on parameter 1 value, it is showing as 1. And if we do 100, 1.1, it is showing 1.1 as well. Now after creating this for the parameter, we will apply this to our sales data. We will create a measure in the sales table. Just simple, for example, sales forecast. And then what we'll do is we'll just do a sales, sum of sales, for example, multiply by parameter one value. Now what we'll do is we'll just put up a bar chart here, make it bigger, and add quarter field and add sales value. This is showing sales by quarter. We'll just sort this axis as quarter, and just make sure to sort it ascending as well. So this is the latest sale that has been shown here, and enable the data labels here as well. And now this is one column. We will just copy this and put it here. We'll just adjust the size of this so that it looks side by side. So for example, this is size adjusted. Instead, in the second one, what we will do is, instead of using the sales amount, we'll use sales forecast. And if you move the parameter to 1.05, it will change. So this is showing as 1, and this is showing if 150, this is showing a different amount. We can enable this in the same visual as well. So for example, let's delete this and then expand this. And if we move towards 1, both of the data will remain the same. And if we increase sales like 20%, for example, the parameter value is showing as a different sales view of the quarter. After this, what we'll do is we'll create some specialized visual. Power BI includes some specialized visual that provide considerably interactive experience of report. These are often called AI visual. Like for example, this is doc decomposition tree, as well as smart narrative. There are some others like key influencers as well. So we will use these three main AI visuals, which includes this. So we'll create a new page, and then we will bring in the key influencer visual, and this is an AI visual. So what we'll do is we'll just enable sales by product, and we can see how it is performing. So we'll do it a category wise. So it is now running analysis, and in that it is showing as the by category and average of the categories as well. Categories in bike is the highest in the one. We will move back and put up category or product instead of the category, and we will see the analysis of the sales itself, like you know what influences sales to increase the product. This is a different one, and it is showing all the things. We can change the parameter to decrease as well, so it will run an analysis, and we will see that which has decreased um, sales over a period of time. It also gives top segments and stuff that we can analyze. Next is the decomposition tree, and decomposition tree helps visual the report consumer in multiple dimensions, and it automatically aggregates the data enable consumers to drill down into dimensions in any order. So it is an AI visual as well. So for example, this is we will bring in the decomposition tree here, and we can see that we'll put up product as well as the sales here, and we can see it creates a tree here. So what we'll do is we'll put up a high value or a low value, so it creates the highest one to the lowest one as well. So we can add more information as well. So for example, sales no sorry we what we can do is we can add a product category here. So this will help us categorize everything based on the subcategory as well as the product itself. So we'll just disable this, and for example, this is category. We click on bike, and we can see the lowest value of the bikes that are there. So this is showing as lowest value. We can move back and we'll see the highest value here in this. So it is showing as touring bike is the highest value. So this enables a pathway of decomposition tree that can go through. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.